The North Melbourne AFL club is in a flap after players posted a video on YouTube showing a condom-clad rubber chicken performing unsavoury acts. Now, the video has sparked outrage from women's groups, but club officials say those involved are unlikely to be punished. Nine's James Talia has more.
Well, a highly unusual press conference has just been held here at North Melbourne's home ground. Highly unusual because all 46 North Melbourne players were brought out to front the media, while their captain Brent Harvey and his predecessor in the job, Adam Simpson, were called upon to apologise on behalf of all of them. This video, which has now become public, depicts a rubber chicken engaged in sex acts with the carcass of a frozen chicken. I know it sounds strange, and it certainly looks strange when you see the video as well. It's all set to American rap music and was in fact explained as something to break up the monotony of pre-season training and also a parody of an American rap song. Nonetheless, the players say they recognise that it's not acceptable and they have apologised to the community at large and women in particular.
We've got good morals at our footy club, we've got a good culture. I've been here for 15 years and I can assure you that's an aberration.
I think that everyone who sat in that room, watched that, laughed at it. If they look back on what they did or could have done, they'll understand that they're all responsible.
Now, these senior players have been at pains to point out that this is not the culture of their football club. It's not something that they condone, and it's not the type of thing that happens regularly, even though this is famously the club where Wayne Carey had to resign after being caught sleeping with the wife of his vice-captain, Anthony Stevens. The club says it will now move to increase the level of education for the players when it comes to matters of dealing with women, and each of the players will also be called upon to dip into his own pocket to make a contribution to a domestic violence charity yet to be named.
North Melbourne is set to issue fines to several players for their part in the making of a chicken sex video. The entire Kangaroos playing list fronted the media to accept responsibility as a group before former club captain Adam Simpson and senior member Daniel Pratt came on the AFL Footy Show last night to admit their involvement in the production of the 4-minute video. Meanwhile, round 3.
But first this morning, North Melbourne's entire football team has been forced to apologise over the porn scandal that's rocked the AFL. Two senior players have owned up to making the lewd internet video involving the club's mascot. Management will decide today what punishment they'll face.
Boris, a rubber rooster and a club mascot, stars in the 4-minute video posted on the internet. The players responsible are not seen in the clip, but have been forced to come clean.
It was totally wrong what we did, and we're ashamed, we're very embarrassed about the whole thing.
The shamefaced admissions coming from former club captain Adam Simpson and leadership group member Daniel Pratt.
It was important that Daniel and I, being the senior players who were involved in the incident, that we'd accept our responsibility in the matter.
Overlaid with a dirty rap song, the video shows the rubber rooster drinking, buying condoms and engaging in sex acts with a chicken. It's been removed from the net and the players say it was never intended for the public arena.
As the CEO, I think all of them are responsible. I think that from the person who conceived the idea to the last young man or player on the list who watched it.
I'd just like to apologise for the video, obviously. We certainly didn't mean to offend anybody. We've got full respect for women.
But anti-violence campaigners say the damage has already been done.
I think it's most unfortunate that people within the club probably saw it, but didn't understand possibly how misogynist that narrative was. So let's be clear, it's an anti-female documentary. It bristles with female hatred.
Angelina Nictomatis, 10 News.
North Melbourne has fined two of its most senior players $5,000 each for their part in creating the club's chicken sex video. Adam Simpson and Daniel Pratt are taking the fall for their teammates and may not play this weekend. Christina Hearn has the story.
Adam Simpson and Daniel Pratt trained with their teammates this morning, but their coach admits the scandal which has embroiled them has taken its toll.
We don't know if Adam and Daniel are going to play, to be quite honest. We'll need to assess where they're at.
Despite that, their club fined the pair $5,000 each for bringing the ruse into disrepute after they admitted they helped create the chicken sex video.
I thought it was important that Daniel and I, being the senior players who were involved in the incident, that we'd accept our responsibility in the matter.
The club will also donate $10,000 to a domestic violence charity. The coach says the matter should now rest.
They've made a mistake. It's not fatal. They are very good people that you probably wouldn't be aware of their qualities.
Couldn't have asked for any more from the Kangaroos.
It's been revealed a staff member from the football department posted the video on the internet and has been placed on notice. And the Roos have been busy in the video production department. This latest YouTube video has emerged, part of which was filmed in the club's rooms, showing the Roos mascot punching up a Hawthorn Jordan Lewis lookalike as payback for this incident last year. The 1.5-minute clip, set to the Rocky theme, was produced to promote Sunday's match between the two sides. A club spokesman says the video has the full endorsement of club president James Brayshaw and chief executive Eugene Aroka. Christina Hearn, 9 News.
Good evening, everyone. After a series of crisis meetings, the Kangaroos want to put the distraction of the Boris the Rooster videotape behind them to prepare for Sunday's clash with Hawthorn. This afternoon, the club sanctioned Adam Simpson and Daniel Pratt, fining them $5,000 each.
It's certainly not the ideal preparation to take on the Premiers, but Dean Laidley put on a brave face. He defended the character of his players, if not their actions, especially former skipper and teammate Adam Simpson.
You know, he's made one mistake now, which is not a fatal mistake, and I'm sure he's going to learn from it. He's a wonderful family man. He's got great kids and a great wife.
The club weighed up the option of dumping both players for round 3, but believe they've already paid the price of public humiliation.
We're ashamed, we're very embarrassed about the whole thing. It was, you know, it was never our intention to you know, harm or anyone.
The boys who have been involved have been in some pretty dark places this week, and that's understandable because, you know, it was a pretty big mistake.
Because we know that our players have made great advances in this area. Lots of people have been educated throughout the last 3 to 4 years. But from time to time we're going to have some incidents like we've had which are unacceptable.
As well as each player's $5,000 fine, the club will donate $10,000 to welfare assisting victims of domestic violence, as well as engaging the AFL to provide respect and responsibility training.
It's been a huge distraction. But I suppose that's been my job to counsel and make sure that we're focused for the game.
But by then, the coach had had enough of the bird talk.
I think I've answered enough questions. If we're here now to talk about the game, I'm happy to stand here and talk about it all day.
And that will be a tough one when they meet a win-hungry Hawthorn on Sunday. Ian Cohen, 10 News.
Adelaide's troubled All-Australian defender Nathan Bock has returned to training for the first time since he was charged with assaulting his girlfriend last Saturday night. Still suspended by the club, Bock went through today's drills with other Crows players. However, coach Neil Craig says Bock is a drained and distraught man. Despite the 26-year-old's outburst, the club won't impose a total alcohol ban.
I'd advise players to think very carefully in their own mind, to get it very clear in their own mind what responsible drinking looks like for them. And being intoxicated is not responsible drinking.
The coach won't say when Bock's playing ban will be lifted.
The two senior North Melbourne players behind Roostergate are paying for their prank, facing hefty fines and the prospect of missing this weekend's clash with Hawthorn. Coach Dean Laidley says the scandal has affected their focus.
Adam Simpson and Daniel Pratt, joining the rest of the club for training this morning, have been fined $5,000 each for the infamous video prank showing mascot Boris the Rooster performing sex acts on a fresh chicken. All players will also fund a $10,000 donation to charity.
These things happen and it's best to deal with them to try and prevent them from happening again.
The staff member who leaked the short film has been put on notice. Coach Dean Laidley admits he'd watched the 4-minute video, which was meant to remain an in-house joke.
The boys know and certainly understand what they've done, but believe me, they're good people.
After initially refusing to name names, the pair confessed last night.
We thought we'd come on and put a hand up and say it was totally wrong what we did, and we're ashamed, we're very embarrassed about the whole thing.
Fans were ambivalent.
No, it's storming a teacup.
Just a waste of a good chicken.
It's most regrettable, but there are other things that go on in football clubs that are much worse than this.
Coach Dean Laidley says his job has been made more difficult, with the controversy taking the focus off their game against the reigning premiers this weekend. The fallout means Simpson and Pratt may be benched, but not as punishment.
We don't know if Adam and Daniel are going to play, to be quite honest. We'll need to assess where they're at.